Hi again, everybody, and welcome back to On the Move, where we go behind the scenes of some of Forsyth County's larger construction projects, whether they're on the roads, in our parks, wherever in our community. We're going to be talking about it here over the next several months on Forsyth County's social media channels. Joining us once again is John Jefferson. He's the Director of Capital Projects here with Forsyth County. John, today we're on the south end of the county. Talk to us about where we are here today on Old Atlanta Road.
Sure. We're at the corner of Old Atlanta and James Burgess. There's the contractor's clearing a parcel that the county owns. It'll be used as a laydown area and a materials staging area during the construction of the project. Eventually, someday, it'll become a replacement station for the fire station number 10, which is just across the street.
All right, so a lot of action here. We're going to jump into a lot of it and a lot of moving pieces here with this project too, we'll get to in a second. But let's start with where we are today. What can commuters expect to see if somebody was getting on Old Atlanta for the first time, let's say in the past year? What would they expect to see right now today that's a little bit different?
Sure. So the contractor, GP's Enterprises, has placed traffic barrels, so you're going to see the orange and white barrels down the corridor. Again, I'd remind you to slow down, take a chill pill, and expect delays. The contractor's in the middle of clearing the right-of-way. This corridor's fairly well developed, so the clearing is going to be selective. It's not going to be, massive numbers of acres. There are going to be quite a number of trees coming down. We've been meeting with the HOAs along the corridor with individual homeowners and property owners, working with them, coordinating with them, to make sure they understand the impacts.
And the long-term goal of this, it's going to be about 3 miles or so widening back here behind us, heading south on Old Atlanta, right?
Yeah, we're basically at the beginning of the project at James Burgess, and it goes just past St. Marlowe's on the right-hand side of the corridor if you're heading south. It's actually a little over 3.5 miles.
All right, and then of course what we're standing on right now is the sidewalk here. Yep. Either side of that, here this morning where we're filming, a lot of people walking this area. Right. That's going to be extended as well, correct?
It sure is, yes. There's a narrower sidewalk on one side of the corridor and a wider sidewalk on the other side of the corridor. It will extend down to the end of the corridor, like I said, just past St. Marlowe's.
All right, so that's the good news here. That's the light at the end of the tunnel we can expect here on Old Atlanta Road. But between now and then, when this project does wrap up, we talked about it a minute ago, a lot of moving pieces here with this. Right. You've got schools on both ends of this project, a lot of power lines, as you can see here. So what kind of hurdles has the Capital Projects team had to overcome to get to this point?
So there are approximately 13 individual utility companies along the corridor. I was just telling Russell before we started filming, I was on a call with the project team yesterday for over an hour and a half, talking about utility relocations, some conflicts that we've got to resolve. Georgia Transmission, the large power poles, they're the first ones that are going to move. They have a lot of aerial utilities that attach to their poles, and they've got about a half a dozen or so poles that they're going to have to relocate. Once they relocate, then the utilities that are attached to their poles will be able to relocate their facilities as well.
It's like a constant game of Jenga or chess happening at all times here with projects like that. So certainly a lot happening here on Old Atlanta Road. And folks, if you haven't already seen the Capital Projects website, highly recommend you take a look at that. It's got information about this project, as well as many others around Forsyth County that Capital Projects is managing and getting closer to the finish line. John, before we let you go, with that in mind, for those that don't know about Capital Projects, give us a little background about what the department is and why it's here in Forsyth County.
Right. The county's grown to the point where it's necessary for the county to undertake large capital projects. If you've been in this industry, you understand that these are like huge elephants, and we've got departments that have day-to-day operations, programming, maintenance, those sorts of things, and so they've already got full-time jobs. And then when you parachute something like widening Old Atlanta into the middle of that's an overwhelming task. So our job is to take that burden off of the individual departments so they can focus on day-to-day operations, and then we oversee the design and construction of these projects.
All right, so there it is. Be sure to visit the Capital Projects website online. And of course, stay tuned for more editions of On the Move, where we go behind some of the larger projects around Forsyth County, including one coming up here soon. It's going to be about the Fowler Water Reclamation Facility expansion that is coming online here soon as well. So don't miss that. Find out what that means for Forsyth County water and sewer customers as we dive into that edition of On the Move coming up here soon. John Jefferson, thanks as always.
Sure, thank you.
So long for now.